later, her mother saw her with a baby in the house and asked, "Whose baby is this?" Ruka said, "Ma, please don't mind me, I'm leaving," and she left for the city with the baby. Her mother couldn't understand what happened. In a small African village, there lived a young woman named Ruka. People believed Ruka to be a goddess because of her extraordinary beauty. Everyone in the village referred to her as the Beauty Queen. Despite numerous proposals from the men in the village, she consistently declined, holding out for a marriage with the prince himself. Her aspirations centered around a life filled with luxury and wealth, but unfortunately the prince did not share the same interest in Ruka. No one in the village suspected that Ruka was really greedy and thought a lot about money. One day she decided to go to the city. Turning to her mother, she said, "Ma, I'm 23 now and I'm too beautiful to remain in this village. I want to go to the city, secure a decent job and better our lives. I'm willing to do whatever it takes for people in this village to respect us," she affirmed. Her mother, finding no fault in her daughter's aspirations, blessed her endeavor. "Go try your luck. But before you leave, there's somewhere I need to take you," her mother added. The next day, Ruka and her mother visited a witch doctor. When they got there, the witch doctor greeted Ruka's mother, saying, "Finally you brought her to us. What can I do for you today?" The mother answered, "Great one, my daughter wants to try her luck in the city, but I want you to give her good luck so that her life there will be smooth." The witch doctor replied, "Your wish is granted, woman. Go, but your daughter must come back here after 5 years." When they got home, Ruka felt really happy and began packing her things. Her mother called a friend of hers, Nandi, and asked if she could help Ruka find a place to stay until she gets a job. The mother's friend was excited and said, "Please, my sister, why are you asking me? Our daughter can come stay with me. This is her house and I am like a mother to her." "Send her this way," she insisted. 3 days later, Ruka left for the city. When Ruka arrived in the city, she went to Nandi, her mother's friend's house. Nandi welcomed Ruka warmly and was so happy to have such a grown and beautiful girl in her house because she never had a chance to give birth. So she treated Ruka with a lot of love. Ruka came to the city with big ambitions. She wanted to make money. Being physically beautiful, she easily made friends with other attractive women of her age. One day, she received an invitation to a party organized by one of her friends, and the event was set to take place in a very prestigious venue in town. The challenge was, Ruka didn't have enough money for stylish clothes and expensive hair extensions like her friends. Unfortunately, Nandi, who wasn't wealthy, couldn't support her with the kind of luxurious lifestyle she desired. So, Ruka chose to take 4 expensive fabrics from Nandi without permission. She sold them at the market and used the money to buy what she wanted for the party. When she returned home, she lied to Nandi, saying that one of her friends had helped her get what she needed for the party. Nandi was pleased for her and advised Ruka to be grateful to such a good friend. Little did she know that the money Ruka used came from the sale of the 4 fabrics she had kept preciously. Ruka deceived her. On the day of the party, Ruka dressed up really nicely and looked like a queen. As she entered the venue, her presence stood out effortlessly, a true queen of beauty. It didn't take long for Amy, a discerning eye in the crowd, to notice Ruka's captivating allure. Amy, recognizing an opportunity, approached Ruka and gracefully initiated a conversation. Amy and Ruka talked. Amy said she wanted to be friends and work together. She runs a business and likes how pretty Ruka is. Ruka was excited and agreed. They shared their contact info to plan things together in the future. A week later, Amy visited Ruka. When she arrived, Nandi observed Amy's wealth and pulled Ruka aside. She asked, "My daughter, where did you get such a friend?" Ruka replied, "At the party I went to a week ago." Nandi warned her, saying, "Please, be careful. This is the city." Ruka reassured her, saying, "Don't worry, Ma. She's a very successful businesswoman who can change my life, and if mine changes, that means yours too." Ruka then went to talk to Amy. During their conversation, Amy told Ruka that she was going to change her life forever. She just needed to follow her. Ruka couldn't believe her eyes. In front of her was the reason why she left her village. Things moved quickly between Amy and Ruka. Amy introduced Ruka to her crew, saying, "This is our new member." Amy then explained the business to Ruka, saying, "In the city, many women want children but can't have them. Some are rich and would pay you a lot of money if you can give them a kid. That's the kind of business we do." Ruka, wanting money, asked Amy, "Where do you get those babies?" Before Amy could answer, Ruka said, "I'm from the village, and I can get them from there. I just need money." Amy agreed, saying, "And that's a deal." 2 weeks later, Ruka had become very rich and was driving an expensive car. She visited Nandi and shared, "Ma, I plan to go to the village to visit my mother." Nandi responded, "Oh, my daughter, that's wonderful. Let me give you something for your mother when you go there." While looking for something to gift Ruka's mother, she searched her room for the expensive fabrics. Unfortunately, she couldn't find them. She didn't want to worry Ruka, but she understood that something might have happened to her fabrics months ago. She admitted to Ruka, "My daughter, I think I might have given those fabrics to someone else. Forgive me. My memory is not as good as it used to be." Ruka was so evil that she didn't even take the opportunity to ask for forgiveness for what she did with the fabrics. Ruka went back to the village, surprising the villagers with how their beauty queen had become so rich. She gained the respect she desired. In the evening, she sat with her mother, and her mother reminded her, "My daughter, it's been 3 years. Remember, on the 5th year, you must go back to the Great One." Ruka replied, "I know, Ma, I will go." Then her mother asked, "What are you doing now, my daughter? You are so rich." Ruka said, "I will tell you, Ma." 2 days later, her mother saw her with a baby in the house and asked, "Whose baby is this?" Ruka said, "Ma, please don't mind me, I'm leaving," and she left for the city with the baby. Her mother couldn't understand what happened and didn't want to think badly about her daughter. Ruka continued with her business, causing many families in the village to lose their children and many marriages to break. She was now very successful, just as she had wanted. On the 5th year, Ruka and her mother returned to the witch doctor. When he saw Ruka, he shouted, "Woman, why are you stealing our people's joy? Why have you done this?" Ruka pretended not to understand, hoping to deceive them, especially with her mother present. The witch doctor sternly commanded her, "You must go and confess, and you will lose everything you possess. If you refuse, even your beauty will leave you, wicked soul. Go, go," he declared to them. Back home, her mother asked for an explanation, but Ruka refused to speak. Attempting to leave for the city in her car, she discovered it wouldn't start. After trying everything, she opted for the bus. When checking her money, she found nothing. She had used it all, assuming her car would be enough. Attempting to sell the car in the village proved futile as it was too expensive, and no one could fix it. She had no other choice but to stay in the village. Wherever she went, people now avoided her because of the foul smell. Nobody wanted to be near her, despite her mother's pleas, saying, "My daughter, I'm only sitting here because I'm your mother. This smell is too strong and bad. Nobody in the village wants to be with you. What have you done? Talk to me, I'm your mother." Ruka refused to speak. A week later, she noticed her face becoming deformed. She was no longer the beautiful lady the villagers admired. Her mother, hoping she would confess, eventually left her. However, Ruka remained stubborn and refused to talk. In the village, rumors spread about Ruka, with people saying that all her troubles were because she tried to get rich quickly, maybe by consulting a witch doctor, and it didn't work out for her. The villagers didn't know the real story, so they speculated a lot about Ruka's situation. Some even started calling her names like the Queen of Bad Smell, the Zombie. In the city, Amy noticed that Ruka took longer than expected to return with a baby this time. Concerned, she decided to go to the village herself, because they had paid Ruka a lot of money to bring the baby, but she didn't. Amy and one of the guys from their group left for the village to find out what was going on. When they arrived, they asked around for Ruka, and a villager responded, "You mean the Queen of Smell? The zombie? Come, I will show you where she lives." Upon reaching Ruka's house, Ruka was happy to see them, thinking they would help her return to the city. However, as they got closer, they couldn't bear the terrible smell, and her horribly deformed face shocked them. They ran away without saying a word to her. One day she realized she couldn't go on living like that and tried to end her own life. However, her attempts failed until she decided to follow her mother and confess what she had done. While pouring out her story, a villager overheard and went to inform others. Shocked, everyone, including her own mother, struggled to believe that her daughter could commit such acts. Ruka tried to explain, "I did it because I wanted to have money and gain respect," but people refused to listen. They led her to an evil forest, abandoning her there to meet her end, declaring, "This is where souls like yours, tainted by evil, belong."